Alrighty, as is usual for me, doing a bunch of things last second. But there's usually not people here the instant the stream starts. So it's all good, although there is Toby on Facebook. Hello. That was ice cracking, by the way, not me breaking a glass. In case you wondered, in case you were worried. Oh, sorry. Had a burger and fries for dinner, so I might burp more than once during this stream, is all I'm saying. It's a possibility. I'm going to experiment shooting a video on my new iPhone today using its cinematic function, and we will see how that is. Toby AIDS is in Canberra, and I assume he's okay. Just giving the drink a stir. So, yes, I don't know that we're hearing from AD. He's in Canberra till after Christmas. So we might hear from him after that. It's a strange and mysterious world we live in. Yes, Toby, he's with his family. Canberra being where AD was born and grew up, and where his folks still live. And in fact, I think his brothers still live there too. He may be the only family member who moved out of Canberra. There's probably no one old enough watching to know the reference, why I'm saying Canberra in that stupid way. Guy who used to be a political reporter for Channel 9. Peter Harvey, Canberra. I'm exaggerating the way he talked a bit, but, you know, that's what you do when you're making fun of someone. You exaggerate their mannerisms. So, cheers. The last of the clarified cocktails I made last week. I made a lot of them, which is why I'm still drinking them this week. Music over. Hello. Your parents are trying to amp up the stress of Christmas by wanting you to run errands to the shops, but you seriously don't give a fuck when I spend Christmas with my friend and her family. Fair enough. I mean, the seriously fucking limiting my outings at the moment. Fucking COVID is fucking everywhere. It's outrageous. Toby, I believe AZ moved to Melbourne to pursue a comedy career. Because you can't really do that in Canberra. So I think after uni, because that's where we met, uni in Bathurst, I think he started out in Sydney and then moved to Melbourne. Because you want to make any significant roads as a comedian, you basically have to be in either Sydney or Melbourne. It's theoretically possible to be somewhere else, and I'm sure there'd be someone who regards themselves as a successful comedian who doesn't live in Sydney or Melbourne. But, you know, you kind of got to be in Sydney or Melbourne. So, yeah. Music gave it up. Well, I've still got my day job, so still getting up at 7. Commuting to here. And I am working next to someone's coming in the kitchen, wants me to make him a drink. I can tell.
I'm looking at the drink cup and also you.
Yeah.
I'm not very excited.
Do you want anything? Do you want one of your flavored vodkas?
Yeah, probably just finish that off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want me to make some lemonade to go with it, or
Yeah.
yeah?
Just dump one of the rest of them in there.
Yeah, that seems like a plan. All right. So help me out. That one that I had rinsing, tip that water down the sink, and you use the water thing to fill it up to about the 750 ml mark.
I'm going to fill it all the way so it goes everywhere.
This is what I live with. I'm just being harassed. So long as it's under 800, it's fine. Yes, okay. All right, going to aerate this. Toby asking, is any of AD's comedy online? Well, the entire Code Grey show is. Not actually aware of any of his old stand-up. All right, we'll put some lemonade flavour. It'll be a bit bland if it's sody water. No sody water. We'll go lemonade. The magic of the carbonator. How about green? Are you looking at another one?
No, green good.
There's much more of other ones, but anyway. That looks like it. Actually, just in terms of that much, how much is this?
I think you could afford to put the rest of the blue in there.
You could afford to put some more in there, yeah. It also gets me a couple of more bottles back. But I haven't had need of them anyway, so that's all right. Oh yeah, that's not excessive for that amount. So as long as you don't scull it or anything. It's really syrupy. It's a good idea to put it in lemonade. This was vodka that had Jolly Ranchers melted in it.
You put a block of ice in the cup.
Oh yeah, you want ice in the cup.
Warm.
Yeah. Not doing my. Yeah, actually probably want two. There you go. All right. That's that done. Put these out of the way. So where's the stopper gone? It's here. All righty. So that little bit out of the way. A little bit of blue vodka in my drink. Why not? So yeah, look, if and when we see AZ again, you can ask him if he has video of any of his old stand-up routines. A bit dodgy, like he's not exactly what you'd call politically correct. He's more known as the mayor of Wrongtown. But yes, just doing really out there stuff. And his challenge was always to bring the audience along with him for a very troubling ride. Start off in an area where the audience is, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And his challenge was always, by the end of this set, I'm going to have him on side. But yes, he's a very Gen X comic, Aidsy, basically. Being up in your face and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it is what it is. A quiet start to the night. I'm kind of annoyed that it's so bright because my videos for my cocktail channel don't look good if I have all that brightness behind me. Needed to get dark, and it's not going to get dark for another hour. You know, I could use this first 10 or 15 minutes as there's only a few people in the chat, as everyone's like eventually getting here. I could use the first 10 or 15 minutes to shoot a video, but it wouldn't look any good. So got to take a bit of a break. Ooh, I like this line. Victoria reintroduces mask mandates as acting premier takes a swipe at Scott Morrison. I want to know what the swipe is. So where's the swipe? Health officer, modelling, Prime Minister stopped short of calling for a national mask mandate. New South Wales Premier resisted for a while, not since he's changed since this has been published. So, yeah. I want to know, what was the swipe? I like swipes. Arrivals. Health Minister. Residents of Perth. I didn't see a swipe at Scott Morrison. I want the swipe. I want the swipe, damn it. Masks are cheap. It's really annoyed by headlines that don't deliver a swipe. Oh, there it is. Okay, I searched the word swipe. Victorian government's taken a swipe at Scott Morrison and Dominic Perrottet for failing to act. It says that, but then doesn't provide context. Well, that's annoying. I'm disappointed. And yes, Music Aveda promising a spicy cat fight, but it didn't deliver. I am disappointed, basically. Yeah. Oh, way worse than trying to suggest a spicy cat fight between politicians. I friggin' hate headlines, and in fact, whole stories that do deliver on the headline, and they're almost always from News Limited Murdoch rags. That it's just like, outrage at Victorian Premier's action, and they quote one fucking rando, one self-interested fucking nobody who says, I don't like what he did. It's like, that isn't fucking news. It's just, I'm sure the news wasn't this bad 20 years ago, even. It's just like finding one whining piece of shit and then making a headline out of that and not making it, 99% of people are okay with this. One whining shit wants to fucking whine. I swear, I don't know how any fucking journalist looks at themselves in the mirror. It's just like, even from outlets that I don't hate, it's just they let down the public interest so often. And it's like, you say that, they go, oh, and they point to this one thing, but what about this fantastic piece of investigative journalism that did blah, blah, blah? And I go, yes, That was awesome. That one piece of investigative journalism that did that, that was great. Allow me to point out 999 pieces of absolute shit that were published at the same time. And it's just like, Jesus. It's just, I mean, I think there's always been what's known as the yellow press. I mean, you go right back to the Spanish-American War at the turn of the 19th, 20th century. That was completely fabricated. The reasons for starting that war were completely fabricated. But I think it was Hearst. It was one or more of the media barons of the day who was on board with the American government of the day, like, yeah, we should totally go to war with Spain. And just said, no, we'll run the stories. We'll run the stories that whip up outrage and make everyone think, yeah, no, we should go to war with Spain. And, you know, that was over 100 years ago they were doing that shit. You know, there were probably pamphleteers in the Middle Ages doing that. You know, Martin Luther is regarded as, you know, this big radical badass for nailing his pamphlet to the church door saying, the church sucks! But I'm sure there were 1,000 other pamphleteers talking absolute shit at the time. It's not a journalism problem, obviously. It's a people problem. People suck. So, yes, maybe I'm being too mean, singling out journalists. And when I say people suck, I'm acknowledging I'm a people. And I do things that suck. And I behave in a sucky manner from time to time. I think acknowledging one's imperfections is very important. And I try to do it. Can be a balancing act with wanting to speak out against things you think are shit and not wanting to act like you're perfect. Speaking of not perfect, I am going to mess with the settings on this camera for a moment. Do that, maybe some of that. And then I'm just going to mess with the focus, going to put it out of focus so I know when it's in focus. There. I feel a bit better about the camera settings now. Justin, what am I ranting about? Currently about the state of journalism being somewhat shit. And while trying to acknowledge my own shortcomings. Just trying to... That's very interesting. So, yes, I can have hotkeys now. That's new. Muting and unmuting mic. Well, I just have a button on my mic. Camera on off. That doesn't mean sharing screen. Shift S. Sharing a video. Shift V. Slideshows. Broadcasting. Layouts. Okay, yeah. Okay, I know some people like hotkeys. They don't seem useful to me. It's the software that I'm using to drive the live stream called StreamYard. They introduced a few new features recently, and one of which are some hotkeys. And the way I run the live streams, the hotkeys don't really add much to it. I'm sure if I practiced at it and was also trying to do the occasional flashier thing with the live streams, then the hotkeys would come in handy. But I don't usually try and do anything flashy with the streams. And so it isn't particularly not particularly useful to me at this point. It's not. I haven't been sitting here going, "Wow, if only I had hotkeys, my life would be much easier." I'm always interested. Sometimes I find out from like one of my friends, they use hotkeys all the time, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I just do the commands and the mouse clicks and shit." I people who use Siri on the phone to launch apps. They just go, "Hey Siri, launch," and I just find the apps. I think it's because I'm old. Chris, hello, happy Festivus. Yes, it is time for the airing of the grievances. Oh, Justin, you want to be real careful about Friendly Geordies saying anything about just John Barilaro having an Ashley Madison account. Because for a start, it would be trivially easy for someone to set up a fake Ashley Madison account in John Barilaro's name. Although he's getting divorced, as I understand it. And at a wild guess, his sudden decision to quit politics absolutely reeks of he thinks a scandal's going to come out. Maybe not, but the whole retiring from politics and then really quietly the news breaking that he's getting divorced. It's like, okay. Those are probably not related. What's behind the getting divorced probably isn't what's behind the leaving politics. So, yes. The only thing, okay, if it turned out that the real John Barilaro had a real Ashley a real Ashley Madison account and it was active now, he should be embarrassed because Ashley Madison was betrayed as a scam years ago. Anyone who signed up after it was proven to be a scam is a colossal fucking loser. Chris, Omicron response in your country is infuriating. Result of senile old man. All the scientists are screaming fire, but old Joe don't give a shit. Yes, the reactions in the States are probably worse than here. Although we have close to exponential growth in cases happening on the east coast of Australia. So that's fun. I was going to have a little bit of a shindig on New Year's Eve. I am now not feeling so much like I want to have other people in my house. Not sure it's a good idea. So, John Barilaro stories. Unsurprisingly, past week. Anything about Barilaro in the past week? Christmas on the move. Well, unsurprisingly, there's no media stories about Ashley Madison. But anyway. Safi, you're nervous going home for Christmas. Yeah, I'm about being involved. Masks back in Victoria and New South Wales, I think, at indoor locations. Justin, your work had an executive meeting about Omicron. room the meeting took place in is now a close contact site. Wow, wow. Well, we got the official word in Victoria, masks indoors. So, yeah, back to work from home. Not that I stopped working from home, but this really brings us back to work from home if they're saying masks indoors. You don't want to be in an indoor space with other people for 8 hours. So if you want a booster before Christmas, yeah, mine's 10th of January, unless they change advice. But even if they change advice, I probably won't be able to get in anywhere before 10th of January. But if they said, if they shortened it so I was eligible, I'd probably just any time I walked past a chemist that had signs saying we do vaccinations, I'd just walk in and say, "Hey, are you busy? Can you give me a Moderna booster right now?" I'm trying to. My hair's all over the place. All right. So, Chris, parking lot, local supermarket. Confusing. Drawn by moron you wouldn't trust with a potato gun. Yes, the airing of grievances. Chris, you're staying at home and you got N95, so you can see N95 wouldn't really work with my beard. So just wear the normal surgical masks. So if you're saying there's no Moderna in your area, oh. Yes, I specifically booked in for a Moderna booster in just over 2.5 weeks now. Monday the 10th. So 2.5 weeks from now. But yeah, if they changed the advice and I was eligible now, I'd just try my luck, I think. So musical activity, you're waiting till January 11th. Work once you're back in the office. Miss those signs. The meeting rooms that say maximum occupancy is one person. Yeah, we had some of that too. I think it will be months before we're being pushed to be back in the office. I mean, who knows? I can't tell the future. Anyone who says they can, I mean, okay, it's actually a reasonably safe bet that we won't be getting pushed to go back into the office for at least 2 months. So, having said predicting the future is a mug's game, that could easily be wrong, but that's actually a fairly cautious bet, quite honestly. Justin, you think take precautions to protect yourself, get on with your life. Well, a very basic precaution to protect yourself is minimize interaction with other people in public spaces, maintain social distancing, wear a mask. So, yeah. Chris will go back to the office a few months after someone gives you a job. You'll get there, buddy. Safi, you reckon there won't be Aussie rules next year? Who knows? That's outdoors. We might continue to think outdoors is fine. It's that's one that I wouldn't predict. So I mentioned I'm going to do a test, make a video on my new iPhone. Not for another half hour though. It's got to get much darker than it is now. Just gave it a working from home for another year or two. Fine. Not going to LARP. Not fine. Yeah, well, LARP's usually outside, isn't it? So everyone should just LARP as plague doctors for the next 2 years. No matter what the LARPing is, just modify it so everyone's a plague doctor. Suffer, Sydney sunsets earlier than Melbourne. Yes, that's got to do with the Earth being round and Sydney being further east than Melbourne by quite a bit, actually. I think it's like half an hour, the difference in sunset. I think, not sure. But anyway, as we are in the solstice now, if it's not exactly today, it was just before today. Not that you can really tell the difference 1 or 2 days either side. But yes, we're in the longest day of the year period. OG Jackie on Twitch and Dottie on Twitch. Hello to the two of you. People in Twitch land. Sorry, Chris, what did you find cheap in new condition at Goodwill? A globe. Nice. World globe. Looking at Sydney and Melbourne on your globe. So, yeah. So, Sophie, yes, winter solstice yesterday in Europe. I think it was today. It was somewhere between Tuesday and today. I forget which it was. Somewhere between the 21st and 23rd, and I forget which it was. Sorry. Well, that's a bad sign. Not a bad sign is that I'm not saying I'm tired, but usually if I start yawning, I can't stop yawning. So that's where it's a bad sign. So music creator, yeah, it was yesterday or today, depending on time zone. Okay, so having said that, I am going to have a martini. Then I'm going to top up my freezer martini, ready for tomorrow night. Also, because I'm moving towards emptying a bottle of gin just to give myself shelf space. Toddy, you shotgun a G Fuel. I have a whole bunch of energy drinks just down there, but I'm not going to have an energy drink this close to bedtime. So, Chris, you got a high quality globe, one that has the bumps for mountains. Nice. Normally hundreds of dollars, but you got one for a good price. Score. I like it. All right. I'm going to be like a fancy motherfucker and get a martini glass. Because I'm a fancy motherfucker. This one? Jeez. Come on. Don't want to break any glasses. That would be embarrassing. Might even do an orange twist. Because I'm feeling fancy. Okay. So that means I want my peeler. Got a big orange here. Can peel off. I'm just so fancy. OG Jackie, martini is gin and dry vermouth. You can play around with that, but proper martini is gin and dry vermouth. The ratios are all up to you. I like a very dry martini, which means mostly gin and only a little bit of vermouth. Like 5 parts gin to 1 part vermouth. So like 2.5 ounces gin, 1/2 ounce vermouth. A common ratio is actually 3-1. So much more vermouth, but you can play with it, do all sorts of little tweaks. I saw someone online doing a tweak where there was a little bit of green chartreuse to make it into a different drink. So no flat earth on your globe, Chris. That's strange. Safa, can you get drunk on one cocktail? Depends on your definition of drunk, depends on your definition of cocktail, depends how fast you drink it. A single cocktail can easily be 3 standard drinks. Like I just gave myself a reasonably generous pour there. That will be somewhere between 2 and 3 standard drinks. 3 standard drinks in 1 hour puts you above the legal limit. So, spritzen some orange oil over the top. Wipe it around the rim of the glass. So just get this orange aromas. I'm even just going to put the peel in the glass. It's a little bit non-traditional doing it with an orange peel. Oh, fuck yeah. That's good. Chris, flat earthers from all over the globe are going to be pissed off at you if they see your globe. That's an interesting question. Musical aviator. Yeah, but an atlas has a flat earth in it. Is that a flat earth? There. Oh, gee, Jackie, you think it's so strong? I mean, if you... A martini is generally a strong drink. Most martinis are going to be 2 to 3 standard drinks. You can make it differently, so it's slightly less. You can make it differently, so it's slightly more. But martinis are a strong drink. It's actually really common for cocktails to be 2 to 3 standard drinks. So 2 to 3 standard drinks in a single drink. That is enough to put you over the legal limit. Single drink can easily put you over the legal limit. That's why when the question is, can one cocktail get you drunk? Depends on what you're calling a cocktail, depends on what you're calling drunk, and depends how quick you drink it as well. So Chris, you had Chicago style pizza today. Nice. And the place in PDX does it was amazing. Yeah, I had a burger for dinner tonight, made with lamb mince, and it was good. They got my order wrong twice, and I'm really pissed off at them and probably never going back. But c'est la vie. Thanks, Chris. PDX is Portland. Music app, you like how Google Maps turns globe at some random distance of zoom. Don't like how hard it is to pan across the globe. Representation of Google Maps if you aren't near the equator. Damn. Dottie, what kind of mince? Oh, sorry. Ground beef. Sorry, Dottie. Different language. Our cultures are about 99% similar, which makes the 1% differences really stand out. So I was saying MINCE, ground meat, as you would call it. So it was lamb, as opposed to beef. Most burgers are beef. This one was lamb. So yes, and also I wouldn't be surprised if my accent throws you a bit as well. So no, you don't have to be sorry. You're only hearing me. And that's what to me is always interesting. Like I say, I think our cultures are, bordering on 99% similar. So the 1% that's different is really confounding. Yes, Chris, if you're thirsty, water is an excellent idea. Not drinking this because I'm thirsty. Well, I'm a bit thirsty and it does help. Fuck, that's good. There's a dance track a few years ago. There's a little refrain in it where it's just going like, I think they were quoting or paraphrasing Dorothy Parker. Don't ask me why I smoke, but I drink to get drunk. Which is often a funny question. Someone says, why do you drink alcohol? I don't know, get fucked up. But I do like the aspect of cocktails, which is slightly beyond just getting pissed. It's like putting all these elements together to create a thing that's a whole new thing. So my freezer martini is more than half empty, so I'm going to top it up and put it back in the freezer. So I got to do some standard strength and some navy strength. So it doesn't freeze. Need the higher alcohol content of the navy strength so it doesn't freeze. I need a funnel because I'll make a fucking mess without a funnel. All right. This is why I stream from the kitchen, because all this stuff is readily at hand. Okay. So, funnel in my martini bottle. Right. Archie Rose, bone dry gin. Okay. I got to remember to put some water in too. Because normally you'd stir a martini with ice, which would dilute it and add some water. So to get it feeling right, you do actually have to add some water to it. And navy strength. And a little bit more bone dry. That's almost gone. At this point, I think I'll add some water. All right. Now I think I'll add a bit of vermouth because that was just all gin. Which vermouth is the question? I think I'll do the classic. Midnight Classic. So, put a little bit of vermouth in. A little bit red makes my martini a little bit pink. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Put this back. Don't ask me why I drink. Drink to get drunk. Now, I think I'm achieving my goal of emptying this bottle. Yep, that should be fine. Woohoo. Almost perfecto. I've got extra bottles. I need to empty some bottles so I have proper shelf space. And I have a whole extra bottle of this from a little bit of bargain shopping I did. So this goes in recycling now. And orange bitters. Where's my orange bitters? Right. And put some orange bitters in the martini as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's probably enough bitters. All right. Wait, where's that? Where is the correct? I think there's that one. That's the Archie Rose stopper. I think this is my martini bottle stopper. There we go. Mix that. You see, you got a slightly pink martini because I used a red vermouth in there. But that's okay. Now that goes back in the freezer. I'll probably have some more tomorrow night. I like mixing drinks, but it's kind of fun to just have one. That's in a bottle and you just go gluk, 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 drink done. I've got 4 bottled martinis at the moment. So no, 4 bottled cocktails at 4. Four bottled cocktails at the moment. The freezer martini, other three in the fridge because they're not as high alcohol content as the martini, and they'd probably freeze or they'd get a bit slushy if I put them in the freezer. This is my favorite cocktail, the Woodson and Ford. A little bit of that one left. There's a whiskey old fashioned, and there's a rum old fashioned. Hey, my hand knew what it was doing. There's actually 5 because there's actually also the margarita liqueur I made. It's like pineapple infused tequila with pineapple syrup and cordial and lime liqueur in it. So it's like a liqueur version of a margarita. So I do actually have 5 bottled cocktails at the moment. So whatever my mood is, if I want to mix something up, we go over here and mix something up. If I can't be bothered, we go straight there. We're done. So that Musical Aviator, your LARP Swordcraft was on the project last night on Channel 10. Last segment, recorded a few weeks ago. Nice. Okay. This, because like sword. There's I'm trying to remember what it was. There is an anime and I think a video game. I think it was a video game first, and they made like an anime movie. It's called Sword Art, and I think there was a game first, and it was called Sword Art. And then there was a anime movie of it, and it was at one of the cinemas in Melbourne. This was years ago, but it had big thing, and it was Sword Art the movie. And when I first looked at it, I thought it said Word Art the music, like the old graphic presentation program. And I thought, holy crap, they'll make a movie out of anything these days. And then I read it and it's like, oh, it's Sword Art. It's not Word Art, it's Sword Art. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. And then lo and behold, years later, they did actually make the Emoji Movie. So they will actually make a movie out of fucking anything because Hollywood is a soulless hellscape that occasionally makes good movies. Like I quite enjoyed Dune. Huge, big budget movie, big spectacle and whatnot. Quite enjoyed it. That's like bringing artistry to big budget blockbusters, and tain't nothing wrong with that as far as I's concerned. You can be commercial and arty at the same time, as Denis Villeneuve. So yeah, it's because I don't know how to pronounce his name, because he's foreign, I like deliberately pronouncing it badly. Denis Villeneuve. Actually, maybe I'm not that far off. Villeneuve. Kind of like that horrible person who's on trial is actually awaiting jury response now for sex trafficking charges. Jeffrey Epstein's sidekick, Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, I know that's not how you pronounce her name, but she's a piece of shit, and I'm pretty sure she'd be upset that I pronounced her name Ghislaine. So I'm going to pronounce her name Ghislaine, because fuck these people, honestly. Isn't it the hilarious thing to me? Well, there's a lot. Okay, there are a lot of hilarious things about the QAnon types, the absolute friggin' idiots. But one of the things that particularly amuses me is they go like, Jeffrey Epstein was awful and a sex trafficker. Yes, he was. He's a criminal who should have been prosecuted years earlier. It's like, oh, and Bill Clinton hung out with him. Yeah, Bill Clinton's a piece of shit too. Donald Trump will save us. No, Donald Trump was deeper in that shit than Bill Clinton. Clinton didn't really party with Epstein. Actually, no, I think there's evidence Clinton took at least one plane ride to Epstein's Island uh, um, the Lolita Express. But Trump fucking partied with Epstein. Jesus. So it's like the QAnon freaks going like, oh, the elites, they're all evil and child abusers and terrible. And they are. They're fucking awful. Oh, they're awful and child abusers and they've got to be stopped. Donald Trump will save us. Like, Trump is worse than all of them. Trump proudly talked, he was on recorded, proudly talking about sexually assaulting women. There are all sorts of horrible stories about him backstage at Miss Teen USA pageants. It's, woo, it's how you go from, oh, these elites are terrible and child abusers to Donald Trump will save us. It's like, fucking hell. It's like part of your brain's missing. And hello, Lemonhead. How you doing? That's true, Safa. Epstein was actually convicted. He is a convicted sex offender and got a bugger all sentence, again, because of this fucking protection racket the elites all run. And yeah, and then he's awaiting trial and died by suicide. And again, here's the thing. And I've said this before. People say, do you think Epstein killed himself? I do. On balance of probability, I think he did. Do I think it's possible he was murdered? Yes. And that's bad. I don't think it's unreasonable to see a possibility. But I think it's 70. No, I think it's close to 90%, like somewhere 80 to 90% likely Epstein killed himself. That's a disturbingly large room for error, but I think balance of probabilities, by far the most likely thing is Epstein killed himself. But, and here's where some people might call me conspiratorial, I don't believe it should have been possible. He was close enough to the highest profile prisoner in the United States at the time. He was close enough to the highest profile prisoner in all of the United States, and there had been a suicide attempt. He should never have been in a situation where it was possible for him to kill himself. It should not have been possible. The fact that he did end up in a situation where it was possible, that's where I think, on balance of probabilities, I think that was a conspiracy. I think it's about 75% likely there was a conspiracy to create a situation where it was possible for Epstein to kill himself, because it absolutely should not have been possible. As AZ and I have talked about this in terms of calling it a Roman death. Legend has it Roman senators who fell into disgrace and were going to be prosecuted. I'm not sure, they probably had capital punishment, but they were definitely going to be disgraced. Life is ruined. And it's kind of like, if you end it yourself, we won't go after your family. But if you don't end it, if this goes to trial, we're taking everything. We're taking your estate. We're making your family destitute. They might end up being sold into slavery to pay your debts, all this sort of stuff. So, choice, buddy. Get in a warm bath with a sharp blade, and your family are protected. Or, take it to trial and we'll destroy everything. And do I think it's possible that there was a whisper to Epstein, dude, if this goes to trial and the evidence about everyone else who's guilty of what you're guilty of comes in, we're going to get you, and it will be extremely unpleasant. The way you die will be very slow and painful because we will get you. Or you can take the quick way out and we'll give you the opportunity to do that. Choice is yours. Something truly horrible or something you have control over. on the balance of probabilities, I think that's the most likely thing that happened. Or even they wouldn't have even had to say it to him, just create an environment where he could do it. This thing. So how often do the Roman deaths happen? I don't know that they officially happen at all. I think in various circumstances, people probably set things like that up. Mr. Gravity, yes, it would be beneficial to your progeny if you were dead and leave them a knife. There was one of the various movies that had Pablo Escobar in it. I think it was called Blow. I think it was the one with Johnny Depp. It's basically about the person who brought cocaine to the United States in the late 70s, early 80s. Was getting stuff from Pablo Escobar, and as the story goes, he visited Pablo Escobar, and someone who had, I don't know, somehow wronged Escobar fronted up, and this guy saw, Escobar and this guy talking, and then Escobar like shoots the guy in the head, and the American's like, holy crap. And Escobar says that was a very brave and honorable man. Like something had gone wrong anyway, and so he came to tell me himself, and he knew I would kill him if he came to me. If he came to me and went with what had happened, he knew I would kill him. He also knew if he tried to hide, I'd find him and kill not only him, but his family and his whole village. And he knew that. So he fronted up knowing he would die. So there's that. Safa, an Epstein trial would have cost a lot of money and gone on for quite a while. And that's the thing. Epstein tainted like every wealthy and influential person around the world, just about, through to the British royal family, all the heads of industry and politics in the United States. I still think it's cute that, again, the pro-Trump conspiracy idiots talk about the Clintons having him killed. I mean, it's cute that you think the Clintons have that much sway, because they don't. But and I don't think Trump did it either. But Trump has, at the time, had much more power and much more capability of doing it than fucking Clintons. I just think it's really cute that they think the Clintons are all powerful. There's like, the Clintons have been their boogeyman since the 90s, and they've never been able to pin anything on them. I mean, Clintons probably are guilty of who the fuck knows what, but the Republicans have been foaming at the mouth at them ever since Bill Clinton beat Bush Sr., and they've never pinned any. Okay, technically, they did pin the Monica Lewinsky thing on Clinton, which he did, and it's so weird that they got him on the technicality of lying to the Senate, saying, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman." Because he didn't actually break any laws. I think he abused the office of president. I think he's an awful person, honestly. In terms of, political stance and whatnot on the American stage, I probably prefer his political stance to many other people who've had the office of president in the United States. But he is a person. He was freaking awful. He was an exploiter. He was a groomer. He was awful. Oh yeah, Safa. Yes, Prince Andrew was a fabulous one. I have no idea who she is. That person in the photo next to me that I have my arm around. No. And again, okay, slightly in his defense, and I say slightly because he's guilty as fuck. If when you are a famous person, you will probably be photographed with dozens, if not hundreds, of people when you have no idea who they are, and even if you know their name, you probably have no idea of any details about them. Did Prince Andrew know this girl was underage? About 99% likely, yes. That's the whole thing with Epstein. But yeah, it's and that interview where he said that really weird thing about not sweating because of something that happened in Falklands. Remember, I'm a war hero. I actually served in active combat. That was surreal because when she, you tell when she just referred to him being sweaty, that was just a general insult. That wasn't, and also the concept that he couldn't sweat is stupid as fuck as well. It's just his whole defense was embarrassing. But I guess that's how things go when you're guilty as fuck. Not that he'll ever go to trial. No one's going to put him on trial. Although there was some subpoenaing of him for some. I think, I don't know. Who knows? Look at this little Christmas decoration Mrs. Angry got. I'm going to see if I can make it work. Last time I turned it on, it exploded, and it wasn't my fault. But Mrs. Angry fixed it. Look. I think it's meant to be Christmassy. It honestly looks like a haunted house to me. It's flickering, and there's a silhouette there. Yes, it's got a sack over its head. Is it Santa, or is it a serial killer that has body parts in a bag over their shoulder? I think I think it's a serial killer. I think that's a haunted house. So how would I be as an army conscript? Fucking terrible, man. I would fucking suck in the army. I mean, now I'm just too old. I don't know, in my 20s, maybe. Which, of course, is when people get conscripted into the army. Oh, Christ, Lemonheads. David Icke he's one of the proto bonkers conspiracy nuts. He's the lizard people one. He's the elites. It's like you start off going like, the elites work against our interests. They work together to predict. Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. No. Also, they're lizard people wearing human skins. Okay, dude, what the fuck? He's such a fucking shithead. Yeah, it is. Even I remember seeing Alex Jones in an article, and he's like, "Why does David Icke have to say that ridiculous shit?" Because he starts off solid stuff, the elites, Bilderberg, this and that, controlling shit, and then he has to go off and say that stupid shit about lizard people at the core of the earth. What the fuck? So when Alex Jones thinks you're saying stupid shit, you're probably saying stupid shit. Yeah, but David Icke's just an idiot. Safa, thank you for asking. I was an extremely long way under 18 in 73 when conscription was abolished. I was under 8, in fact. So, yeah. Thanks for asking, though, dude. I think I probably comment every time I drink from my freezer martini that it's really good and I really like it. But it's really good and I really like it. Now, I'm going to try this test video tonight. I think I know which one I'm going to do. I'm going to do a digestif for the day after Christmas. If you've overdone it at Christmas, whether through eating, drinking, or both, you need what's called a digestif. It's supposed to help your digestion. Personally, I question whether it does. But it's a thing. So it's like, you get things for, the Bloody Mary is a classic hangover drink that's supposed to help with a hangover. And there's some other ones with great, possibly my favorite name for a supposed hangover cure is a tiki drink called the Suffering Bastard. Which is such a good name for a drink. This one's not so much a hangover cure as is meant to help if you're feeling sort of bloated and sluggish. Have a digestive. It's called a Zeus, and I don't have raisins. Fuck, I've got to go out and get some raisins tomorrow. Shit. Actually, I'm gonna double check with Mrs. Angry because she might have some, at least, sultanas for cooking. Give me a sec. I'm just going to check. I would have thought so. Just in the cooking supplies. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, it appears we have them.
Sultanas rather than raisins.
Yeah, no, that'll do. I'll lie for a video. There you go. Sultanas. Same thing as raisins. I know they're not. But for some video magic. All right. So this, I've got 24 raisins. And cognac, Tia Maria. Oh, that's meant to be coffee, right? So I'm going to do a cream liqueur. Oh, it's 1/6 of an ounce. Okay, I am absolutely gonna fucking freeform this one. Okay. Lemonheads. The vines were in fact Australian. The vines were the best of that little period where there were like some pop rock bands that had real 70s vibes. There were 3 that made some headway. The vines were the best by a long way because they had a lot of originality going. Then there was what was the name? But they had a single called "Are You Gonna Be My Jet?" That's them. Are you gonna be my girl? Jet were the second best, and then there was Wolf Mother, who fucking sucked balls. But it was kind of like they were all brought up on their older brother's 70s rock music, or maybe their uncle played them some 70s rock music. And the Vines completely reinterpreted the vibe. It's like Jet were very influenced, I feel, by Susie Quattro's band in the 70s. And Wolf Mother were just like some shitty Steppenwolf cover band that should have stayed in suburban beer barns. They fucking sucked. So if you'll have to get wasted on a large slice of Christmas pudding, that's a pretty fucking serious Christmas pudding if it gets you wasted. Pour a bunch of brandy on it. All right. So Tia Maria. So cream and how many mils of this is that? Seven and a half. Okay. I'm going to do a bar spoon of a cream liqueur and a bar spoon of Mr. Black. And going to do a Fernet Branca rinse. Okay. I know what I'm going to do with the Fernet. Okay. Garnish with coffee beans. No, thank you. Oh, wow. Lemonheads. You know the Plunderers. The Plunderers were a fun fucking band from the 80s. Bunch of guys who were in different bands that I liked as well were in the Plunderers. Shay, what are we drinking tonight? I am just knocking off a martini, my freezer martini. I'm going to record a video in a sec where I'm going to make a digestif that's going to go up for like New Year's. The idea is people might see it on New Year's Day. If you're hungover from New Year's Eve, this is something that might settle your tum-tum the next day. Shay took 9 shots of tequila. Oh dear. That might have been a bit excessive. Lemonheads, Tom Morgan. Oh, that's right. Yes, Lemonheads. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Evan Dando was in one lineup of the Plunderers. He wasn't in the original lineup. Yeah, Nick Dalton. Nick Dalton was in a couple bands I liked. And Tom Morgan's Australian, yes. Nick Dalton was in a couple bands I liked. He was in the Whitlams at one point. All right. Would you mind turning it down a little bit? There's a sudden explosion of noise. Something exploded. Mrs. Angry's playing The Last of Us, which is occasionally a very loud and boisterous game. All right. Look so fine that you really gonna make mine. Right. So I need to put this back. Ooh, slowly opening up shelf space. I have a couple of doubles in bottles. Need to finish that one. Okay, so cognac. Cognac. Mr. Black. Mr. Black. I want a little bit creamy. Disaronno. I'm actually going to do the Disaronno. Velvet liqueur. Okay. Okay. One shot glass. Using my skull shot glasses. Why not? Why not indeed? Okay. Yes. Lemonheads, that song, Christo. For those who don't know, Christo is I think he's still alive. He's an artist who's famous for rapping things. So when they released the 7-inch vinyl of this song dedicated to the artist Christo, it was actually rapped rather than a normal cover, which was kind of neat. Very punky, very pop punk. And not like 90s pop punk. This was like 80s pop punk, so it was a bit more punk. All right, so raisins. I love it. 24 raisins. Like I'm gonna fucking count 24 raisins, honestly. Model it with cognac. Then that. Oh, maple syrup. We've got maple syrup. I'm sure we've got maple syrup. We have maple syrup for our pancakes. Real pure Canadian maple syrup. Dun dun dun. So got that. I got that. Fuck the chilled water. You're a weirdo. Simon deferred. Finette Branca. Okay, I'm going to use my Nick and Nora glass. Where is my Finette Branca? There it is. Okay. Okay. So I think I've got everything together. Fix it, dude. Is Ed Cooper still doing gigs? He's still around. I'm sure he's still. I mean, no one's been gigging for 2 fucking years, but I'm sure Ed Cooper is still around and does the occasional gig. Now, there's someone who's done some great stuff over 3. Well, no, he's probably 4 to even 5 decades. He was originally in the Saints in the 70s. Jesus, Ed Cooper must be fucking ancient at the moment. I'm sure he still gigs occasionally, though. Anyway, I just realized I need my audio recorder, which is in the other room. I'm just going to go get it. Okay, no, I want to put that there. I might be standing up from here on. Lemonheads, what was my first concert that blew me away? Probably the Angels. I was a bit of a rock pig. Angels were like my favorite band from when they released the single No Secrets. I got to see them live a few times. They're amazing. They're very theatrical. For a rock band, they were very theatrical. Like I also saw Cold Chisel and Midnight Oil, and they were both fun, but they're a bit more straight ahead rock. The Angels were very theatrical. So yeah, I quite like the Angels live. Good old Doc Neeson. I watched one of their clips the other day, and he always had the really intense eyes. And I was looking at this clip at how fucking skinny he was, and I was thinking, both the eyes and the skinniness, I mean, I don't know this, but he's dead, so he can't sue me. The eyes and the skinniness with Doc Neeson really made me think there might have been a fair bit of cocaine going on there. Her Ladyship of Expletives, hello. It's flipping cold where you are. It's friggin' temperate where I am, low 20s. It's quite pleasant. Went for a walk with Mrs. Angry this afternoon. Low 20s and breezy. I think it's meant to be about 20 Celsius on Christmas. Considering I've had Christmases that were 40 Celsius, 20 Celsius is far preferable. I'm just getting dressed to do a cocktail video where we make it digestive. And I might redo this tomorrow because this might not work. This is an experiment using my new iPhone to shoot it. See what this does. Holy shit, Safi, you're getting 35 Celsius on Christmas. It's fucking brutal. Fix it, dude. You saw the Jimmy Barnes Freight Train Heart Tour. That's a classic period. I saw the Cold Chisel Circus Animals Tour, which is a fucking classic period for Cold Chisel. The Dubbo Civic Centre, of all places. Midnight Oil, I saw twice at the Horden Pavilion, I think. The Angels, I saw at a bunch of venues, including Dubbo, actually. Dubbo RSL Club, I think I saw the Angels at. Holy shit, her ladyship, -5 Celsius. God damn. And Fix It Dude, hot in Amala. Okay. So yeah, Safa, 30 Celsius at Christmas is real common in the bush. Remember we had that New Year's Eve, it was ages ago, maybe 10 years ago in Melbourne. was like 45 all during the day, and it didn't get below 30. Like, I think it was still 35 at midnight. It's fucking barbaric. A bunch of drunken yobba. This is when I lived in St Kilda, East St Kilda. Bunch of drunken teenagers, mostly in 20-somethings, on St Kilda Beach, being rowdy and pissed all night. And the fuckers just smashed glass everywhere. We were finding, despite the fact tractors dragged the beach for days to try and get all the broken glass up, we were finding broken glass on the beach for 8 months. Fucking people, man. So Lemonheads, it's minus 10 Celsius where you are. You love it. Cool. And Safa, minus 20 in Moscow. Yeah, it's probably not the worst thing about Moscow, honestly. Okay. Suffered since St Kilda changes a lot, actually, I will say. Has changed a lot. It's probably real different now to when I used to live there, to when I used to go out there 10 years ago. But anyway, I think I've got everything together. Get my phone, which I just had on charger over here. Oh, I need to put the lights on. It's not an Angry Cocktails video without fairy lights. All right. Let's do this. And this. Go and put the fairy lights up. Come on, what are you doing to me? That's it. And where's the power cord? Here it is. And that one. I'll put that one. Okay, put the lights on. All right. Fairy lights happening. Phone. How much did it charge? No, not much, but enough. Leadership, you reckon Lemonheads is nuts or maybe indoors? Oh, Safa, yeah, okay. Getting drunk on the beach doesn't change in St Kilda. That's you're spot on there. Okay, so turning on some lights. And that one. And sorry, I just need to bring these lights over here. Front. There we go. And of course, those other lights aren't going to fucking work because fuck them. Fuck them, I say. Fix it, dude. Memories from early teens are staying with your brother. That was the wrong button. Must have deleted something. Staying with your brother, St Kilda, over summer holidays. For a country kid, Melbourne was so... Oh, that would have been wild, yeah. Yeah, no, you fucking lights aren't going to come on, are you? Because you fucking suck balls. Hate these fucking things. Oh, well. Post-Christmas, I might get some more fairy lights. I want more fairy lights, basically. All right. So, camera, I'm just going to check the settings. Recording video 4K, that's what we want. Okay. Right, so now I'm just going to go around here. That's where I've got to stand. Use the new cinematic video function the iPhone has. All right. I think that's a thing. Actually, look, I'm gonna double check. I think I need to stand about here. Okay, I'm gonna double check something. I'm gonna shoot a little bit of video. I think to get the effect I want, I think I have to stand about here and do stuff like this and do this. I think that I'm just being paranoid now. I look at that bit of video back, and no. Oh, yeah, that's about right. Okay, that's about right. Okay, so all right, got that recording. Oops, forgot to turn my audio recorder on. Fridge just started singing the song of its people. Hopefully, won't be too loud. Do. Okay. G'day, cocktail lovers. I hope you've been keeping well. And that was not difficult. Anyway, I screwed it up anyway. G'day, cocktail lovers. I hope you've been keeping well. And in all honesty, this video is somewhat aimed at you if you're not that well. I'm thinking with New Year's, sometimes we overdo it. Sometimes we wake up. This whole period around Christmas, New Year's can be like that. It's like, I need, maybe hair of the dog, maybe something to settle this queasiness and whatnot. In the drinks world, there's a drink called a digestive, which is supposed to settle your tummy if you're a bit bloated, a bit queasy. I'm not saying this is a hangover cure because I seriously don't think this works, but this sounds like a nice drink and maybe it will settle the old tum-tum if you've been overdoing it. I'm going to do a little riff on a cocktail known as the Zeus. Here's the first thing I'm riffing on, or maybe it's just a little hack, a tip, whatever you want to call it. This calls for a rinse of Fernet Branca, which is a drink. It's really popular with bartenders, can be a bit challenging for a lot of people. There's a very strong menthol flavor. It's an Amaro with very strong menthol element. I know, at least in Melbourne, bartenders just do shots of this. They're weirdos. And this is designed to have a rinse of Fernet in a chilled glass. Now, what most people say is use about 5 mils, about a bar spoon, swish it around a chilled glass, and then tip it out. I hate wasting, and I first learned this tip when I was talking about an absinthe rinse, which is another strong drink that's often used as a rinse. Rather than tipping it out, the idea is fill the glass with ice, which will chill the glass, and then just top it with a bit of the drink in question, maybe half a shot, and then just leave that. It's going to chill and dilute a bit. And just before you pour your cocktail in here, strain out the drink that's in there as a rinse, and you have it like as a follow-up, as a shot, rather than tipping it out. Waste not, want not, I say. Hot tip, kids. Don't tip out stuff when it's a rinse. Oh, wait, where's my freaking cocktail shaker? I'm going to need that. Gonna need that. Gonna want to fine strain that. Right. Okay. going to count this. See, is this? I just grabbed randomly a handful. See if this is 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. About 26. That was pretty. God damn, that was a pretty good handful. That was a pretty good handful. Yeah, all right. This is going to be a shaken cocktail, and the first thing we're going to add to our shaker glass is some raisins. The recipe I found called for 24 raisins, which sounded very precise. And I got a handful. Got a handful of raisins. They're going in the mixing glass. The recipe I saw called for some Martell XO cognac. Okay, brandy. Brandy is what you want. A brandy that you like. I do actually have some Martell. This is their Blue Swift. This is a VSOP cognac that's been finished in bourbon barrels. So because of the strict laws around cognac, they're not actually allowed to call this a cognac, but that's what it is. It's VSOP cognac that's been finished in bourbon barrels. But just go a brandy. I'm sick of people saying cognac's automatically better. It isn't. There are good cognacs. There are good non-cognac brandies. A brandy that you like, we want to add 2 ounces or 60 mils into our mixing glass. I need a muddler. Sorry, I just got to go and get a muddler. Since we brought up vines and stuff, I've got that Jet song, "Oh, You're Gonna Be My Girl," in my head. Had a good guitar riff. Now we want to muddle the cognac and the raisins together. Not being too fussy, just going to squoosh them a bit for about 10 seconds. Just assume to get some raisin flavor out. I don't know. I'm just following instructions. I've never made this before. I'm just assuming this is going to be good because I thought it looked pretty good. This sounds so gross. Licking the cognac off the muddler. Okay. The recipe I found called for a small amount of Tia Maria, which I don't have because not wanting to offend anyone, but Tia Maria is garbage, quite honestly. I have no interest in it. It's a coffee liqueur. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix it because it's a creamy coffee liqueur. I'm going to do some Mr. Black, the coffee liqueur that's taking on the world from little Aussie land. So I'm going to do 5 mils or a bar spoon of Mr. Black coffee liqueur. And I'm just going to fucking approximate that because I can't bother getting my box. Ooh, yeah, it's about 5 mils. I don't even like coffee. 5 mils I can probably deal with. Then I'm going to add 5 mils of a creamy liqueur. Yeah, you don't have to be mad scientist like me. Maybe you have Tia Maria. Maybe you like it. I don't hold it against you. Just improvise like me if you need to. And I have a few cream liqueurs. I chose this Di Serono Velvet liqueur. Again, I'm going to add 5 mils or a bar spoon of creamy liqueur. That's probably enough. Okay. The final touch is some sweetener. It calls for maple syrup, which I guess makes sense because I'm kind of pitching this as a breakfast, a morning after drink. So why not maple syrup? We're going to add about 1/4 of an ounce or around 7.5 mils of maple syrup. 1, 2, 3. Looks so fine that you're really gonna be mine. And that's it. We add ice to our shaker and put it together, bang it in hard. Because the creamy element's going to want to curdle here, want to give this a really solid shake for 10 to 15 seconds. Oh, that's what that weird shit is. There was something weird in there, and it's like, oh no, that's the raisins I muddled. We want to get our cocktail glass ready now, so we're going to strain the Fernet into a shot glass. If you've followed my advice, and we can have that as a chaser. Now I'll chuck this ice out. Learning tricks, kids. Just it out. And now we are going to strain the cocktail into the chilled cocktail glass that has a rinse of Fernet Branca in it. Because of the muddled raisins, we will want to fine strain this one. If you're really into coffee, which I am not, you might want to garnish this with some coffee beans. Oh, I'm just thinking maybe if you're just being really decadent, you could put some cream on top as well. I'm going to have it as is. Those raisins have really come through, and I mean in a positive way. This is very drinkable. It's very light. It's got a little bit of sweetness, of course, from the maple syrup as well as the raisins. There's that very light coffee touch, which I think is nice and suits a morning after. Again, I'm not guaranteeing this is going to cure a hangover, but it might make you feel better. Hey, if it does, or if the idea of it makes you feel better, I hope you give me the old like, the thumbs up, to tell the algorithm you enjoyed that. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, it would be great if you did subscribe. But in the meantime, particularly if you're feeling a little worse for the wear, take a bit of time to look after yourself, look after people around you. Until I see you again, I'll say, here's some hair of the dog. Cheers. All right. That worked for you. I just got to switch everything off. Stop shooting video. Okay. Oh, I'm going to turn off the bright lights too, actually. Turn that off. Turn that off. Turn this down here. Gonna take a seat. Where are we? There we are. There we are. Happy Festivus, micro USB, and Heine. And Kirsten, hello. Happy Festivus. You came in while I was making that. Abigail. Okay. Here's my first feat of strength for the evening. I'm doing a shot of Fernet Branca. And if you don't think that's a feat of strength, you don't know what Fernet Branca is. Looks a lordy. Ooh, that's like piney and mentholy. Ooh. It's like I actually just swallowed some mouthwash, quite honestly. So that's my feat of strength for Festivus, quite honestly. Now I think I want to drink some water and rinse that off my palate, if that's even possible. Ooh, let's get a bit of water. All right. All right. Yes, Abigail, excellent feat of strength. Simply existing in the world as a trans lesbian, that takes quite a bit of strength. Of character, and I imagine even just physically, really. Bit of a palaver. Oh, okay. That Fernet is just sitting on my tongue, honestly. That Heine. Need to know why atoms with odd numbers of electrons don't necessarily become magnetic. Your quantum understanding was always useless, but you seem a good study. Abigail is our resident scientician, so she may have an answer for that. There we go. That actually feels better drinking some water. So, yeah. Here's a little pseudo morning milky coffee. This video is going to go up. It'll be like New Year's Eve. People might find it New Year's Day if they're feeling a bit sick. This is meant to settle your tummy. It's a digestif. It's actually quite nice. It is quite nice. Ugh. Actually, I'm just see if Mrs. Angry's still up. She might like to sip this one. Don't think it's a hangover cure, but yes. When I described this one to Mrs. Angry, it's like a digestif. It's meant to make you feel better. She's like, oh, bullshit. Yeah, no. I'm not a believer in hair of the dog stuff. Lee, hello. Bonjour. And Megalit, she got to say hello to the empty seat. I was just letting Mrs. Angry taste this drink I made, which is called the Zeus. And it's actually pretty good. It is pretty good. I like it. Okay. It will be interesting. I find it interesting to see how, actually, I don't want to do it from there. How this, I'm doing an experiment with video on my new iPhone shot in. Why is there no scrubber? Apart from me, I'm the scrubber on there. Okay. Coconut Cleaver, happy. Yep. Pagan Festival, Harvest Festival. Yes. Going right back to possibly pre-Roman times. In Roman times, they had Saturnalia, but it was like, yes, the solstice was big in the Northern Hemisphere. It was like when they knew it was the shortest day was over and there was just going to, fuck, it looks good. I'm going to wait to see what it looks like on a computer screen. I'm going to show it to you, and I don't know if you will be able to tell. But this is the... I'm going to frame it. I can frame it slightly different in my editing software. Like, oh, wait, I need to put autofocus back on. Oh, no, Kirsten, your feat of strength was not yelling at anyone when one of your malt guys called and said, we can't deliver it till January. Damn. But you did yell at husband, so now you must apologize. I can, understand, and hopefully husband appreciates the apology. So I'm going to put autofocus back on. Let's see if you can tell. Okay. I don't think you can. Oh, there you go. Now it's focus. The cinematic thing gives a really narrow depth of field, so it focuses on me, and stuff in the background is slightly out of focus, and it looks cool. But that's really, geez, why did I show you that bit? Just down there. That's boring. Why am I showing you that? Not sure. Yeah. But yeah, the cinematic function that does a narrow depth of field, I think that's going to look good. Okay, tomorrow I will download that to my computer and do some editing. I might end up using the iPhone. Oh God, now the autofocus is gone skits. Okay, switch off autofocus, do manual focus. There we are, we're back. So Chris, you like the Matrix movie? Yeah, I'm going to see it at some point. I'm not sure at the moment with COVID getting out of control. I've had one cinema experience to see Dune. I don't think Matrix happens here till New Year's. I have this feeling I am absolutely not going to want to go anywhere public. Oh God, it's already 9:50. I had no idea. Oh, Abigail, you like the Matrix movie? Nice. Okay, that drink was pretty good. And I just realized it's almost bedtime, which is actually a huge surprise to me that time has gone by that fast. All right, I'm going, because Safi, you reckon some of the media is saying boosters yesterday 1 hour ago, WA Premier vaccine mandates third booster shot. Okay, hasn't hit Google News yet, but if that goes official tomorrow, that the booster was on an ad break, Safa. Nice. Well, if that goes big tomorrow, I'm just going to go out and find chemists that have been doing vaccines and saying, can I walk in now and get a booster, please? Coconut Cleaver, your feat of strength is not thumping anyone, teetering on the edge of misanthropy. That's normal human experience right now. Abigail, yes, planning a stream tomorrow. Absolutely. I have to admit, we had been talking about New Year's Eve plans. I am no longer sure about that. I am no longer sure about visitors, visiting households, that type of thing. Ah, shit. Not saying anything for sure yet, but I am feeling deep misgivings about the rate of spread of the coronavirus at the moment, and thinking about others in my household. Abigail, what if triple vaxxed? Again, this is a thought that really only popped into my head today, and it would come down to if I'm triple vaxxed, if I'm able to go out tomorrow and do it. Yeah. Chris, you were in a theatre with maybe 10 people who were far away from you and had your N95 on. Yeah, Abigail, I'm not saying anything definite yet. I'm just saying I'm having misgivings at the moment. So my mood will be different if, for instance, I was able to go out and get a booster tomorrow. But we will say, yeah, I think they closed the or maybe, and then they maybe reopened the exhibition building. And that's where I had my first 2 shots at the exhibition building in Carlton. Wait and see. I'm going to wake up in the morning and see if the media are going, yes, they officially shortened it to 2 months. So, Chris, you're having a few people over holidays, not worried, 2 are in a circle. Abigail, you went to the exhibition building on Monday. Yeah. I was hoping they were going to say something yesterday about shortening the booster distance to 4 months. And then I was going to go into the exhibition centre today. But they did not. But if they say it tomorrow morning, I think pretty much the first thing I'm going to do is go to local chemists that have been doing vaccines and saying, can I just fucking, have you got time now? Can I just rock in and get a Moderna booster now? So if it's not the Sexpo building, that's Jeff's Shed, the Melbourne Exhibition Centre, which was a vaccine hub as well. I had my shots at the Carlton Exhibition Centre, a much older building, because my office, back in the days when I worked in an office, was very close to the Carlton Exhibition Centre. So I went into the office and then got a shot. But we shall see. So, yeah, I will be very keen to see what is being reported tomorrow morning. If tomorrow morning it's become a thing like, yeah, boosters, baby, boosters, I am going to make some considerable effort to get a booster tomorrow. Safa, it's right next door to the IMAX. It's a different building, but it's literally right next. The Royal Exhibition Building in Carlton is right next to the IMAX and the museum. Coconut Cleaver, your mum arrived from interstate. Haven't seen her for 3 Christmases, courtesy of you know what? Yeah, fucking hell, man. Well, I'm glad you're with her for this Christmas, and I hope you have a good one. Hope you have an excellent one. So okay. I have very much been caught by surprise that it's already, well, we're a couple minutes away from 10 o'clock now. For some reason, I thought it was more like 9. So get away from me. Okay. Sultanas. You did a good job, Sultanas. You tasted very good in that cocktail. And I will use you again tomorrow for close-ups. So if you're going to watch the carols on the TV, good for you, man. Not my kind of thing, but you enjoy it, go for it. Yeah, ready for bed. So yeah, now I've got some squished cognac infused sultanas in here. I'm not going to eat them now. Excellent, Coconut Cleaver. You're having a blast. That is brilliant. I love it. A blast is a wonderful and positive thing. If you're having a good family get-together, particularly if it's been stopped for years because of the fucking pandemic, then I'm glad you're having a good one this Christmas. Yeah. Sultanas are great. We got a big thing. It's for cooking. First time I've used sultanas in a cocktail. Might even keep those. Will I? Maybe, I don't know. I have decisions to make tomorrow, essentially. But they can wait for tomorrow. I'm quite looking forward to putting the video from my phone onto my computer and editing it and seeing what it looks like. It'll be super weird if this does nicer looking video than my purpose-built video camera, which admittedly I bought a very long time ago. I don't even remember how long ago. I think at least 5 years ago, which in technology terms is an eon. I think it's like the fourth camera I've bought for YouTube. 1, 2. Yeah, I think it's the fourth purpose-specific video camera I bought for YouTube. I initially had just a little pocket camera that could also shoot low-res video. And in the early days of YouTube was just low-res, so that was fine. Then I had these funny pistol grip Sanyo video cameras for a couple of years. They were pretty cool. I had one, and then they brought out a new one. I got the new one, and then I got a Sony Handycam a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago, and then upgraded to a newer Sony about 5 years ago. I don't even fucking remember, quite honestly. But now I have this funny feeling that my iPhone might shoot better video than my purpose-built camera. So we shall see. Safa, a bit of a party night tomorrow. Yes. Lead up to Christmas. Got to do birthday toasts for baby Jesus. Kirsten, you're still planning on going to a little road trip? Nice. Been avoiding people, wearing masks, rapid tests. Nice. That's all good. Oh, that's cute. Coconut Cleaver Barnesy and his family were singing carols on a Facebook live stream. That's fucking cute. I love that. Yeah, tomorrow night we'll sing Happy Birthday, Jesus. It'll be like Lee Ermey in Full Metal Jacket leading it with Happy Birthday, dear Jesus. Happy birthday to you. Lee Ermey, what a funny guy. We'll see. I think the whole world will be different if I can go out and get a Moderna booster tomorrow. We shall see. We shall see. But anyway, one way or the other, live stream tomorrow night, party night. Definitely go to at least midnight so we can say Merry Christmas. It's Sir Isaac Newton's birthday on the 25th. Okay, so at midnight we can sing Happy Birthday to Isaac Newton. Nice. Okay, so that's 10. I'm going to go to bed. I hardly even got drunk tonight, which is nice because then I can just go to bed and be fine. Tomorrow night, who knows what tomorrow night will bring. It's funny, if I hadn't realized the time, I was like, I'm not even pissed. I'm going to have wait, no, it's bedtime. I'm not having another drink. I will drink a little bit of water and then I'll go to bed. And it's bedtime. So that's what I'm doing now. So I shall see you fine folk, anyone who's available tomorrow night for a Christmas Eve party. Otherwise, you'll take care because it's a wild and crazy world out there.